What if I told you that most men only start to understand how younger women really think when it is already too late, when their confidence is damaged, their desire is drained, and they have already repeated the same painful pattern so many times that they start to believe there is something wrong with them? Stay with this, because over the next minutes I am going to walk you through 10 brutal truths about younger women that almost no one tells you directly, and once you see them clearly, you will never look at attraction the same way again. You will see why some men always end up in the older guy, she is bored with category, and why a very small group of men, the ones who understand these truths, naturally become the exception, the man she respects, the man she desires, the man she cannot easily forget. Before we start, let me make something clear. We are talking about younger women who are adults, women who can choose, say no, say yes, walk away, and live their own lives. This is not about tricks, manipulation, or trying to control anyone. This is about understanding the psychology of attraction, understanding how the modern world shapes the mind and emotions of younger women, and then choosing who you want to be as a man in that reality. If you ignore these truths, you suffer. If you accept them and adapt, you gain power, calm, and an unfair advantage. And the first brutal truth is this: younger women are not impressed by your age. They are impressed by your energy and your standards. Most men secretly believe that age is either their advantage or their curse. Some think, I am older, so I must automatically look more stable, more experienced, more attractive. Others think, I am older, so I am at a disadvantage. They will always prefer someone their age. Both positions are wrong, because they are obsessed with the number, not with the reality behind it. What younger women actually feel when they are around you is not your age, it is your energy. Is your energy heavy, tired, anxious, bitter, needy? Or is it calm, grounded, focused, playful, and present? Are your standards high for yourself and for your life? Or have you given up and are now just looking for a woman to save you from your own boredom? Younger women live in a world where the image of mature man is everywhere, in series, movies, social media, but most of those images are fantasies. So when they meet you in real life, they are not comparing you to other men your age, they are comparing you to the internal image they have built of what a masculine, experienced, centered man should feel like. You can be 30 and feel like a tired 45-year-old, or you can be 40 and feel like a disciplined, powerful, attractive 35. Your habits, your posture, your presence, your voice, the way you look at her, all of that creates an emotional signal. That signal is much more powerful than your date of birth. The second brutal truth is that younger women are drowning in attention, which means your attention is cheap unless you know how to give it in a different way. The average younger woman receives likes, comments, messages, and validation every single day from men all over the world. Many of those men are trying to be nice, to be supportive, or to show how impressed they are with her beauty. But here is what you need to understand. When something is abundant, its value drops. Constant attention becomes background noise. Compliments become a routine. Messages become predictable. So when you, as a man, come into her life, and you think that the way to stand out is to give her more of exactly what she already has too much of, you disappear. The more you chase, the more she feels you are just one more. Your advantage does not come from giving more attention. It comes from giving a different quality of attention. Most men look at her like an object of desire. Very few men look at her like a human being, and at the same time do not put her on a pedestal. The difference is huge. When you listen, and you are fully present, but you are not trying to impress her. When you look into her eyes, and you are not begging for a reaction. When you ask questions because you are genuinely curious, not because you are trying to advance to the next step, the emotional frequency of your attention changes. A powerful exercise for you is this. Imagine that your attention is a currency. Weak men throw it at everyone carelessly. Strong men invest it where it matters, with intention. You become more selective, not cold. You become more centered, not distant. You are not unavailable, but you are not constantly available. Younger women feel this difference immediately. They are used to men who respond instantly, who adjust their entire day just to get a chance to talk for a few minutes, who abandon their plans at the first sign of interest. When you have your own rhythm and your own priorities, when she feels that yes, you desire her, but your life does not revolve around her, your attention becomes rare, and what is rare becomes valuable. The third brutal truth is that younger women are extremely sensitive to insecurity, especially insecurity about your age, your looks, or your success, and that insecurity kills attraction faster than almost anything else. It is not that you need to be perfect. You do not need the perfect body, the perfect career, the perfect hairline. What destroys your presence is not your imperfections, it is your obsession with them. When you are around a younger woman and you are constantly measuring yourself in your mind, comparing yourself to younger men, worrying about what she is thinking, trying to hide what you are ashamed of, she feels that tension even if you do not say a word. Think about it like this. Attraction requires space. It needs space for curiosity, for playfulness, for polarity, for her to feel your masculine center. When your mind is full of self-doubt, there is no space. You are not really with her. You are inside your head, fighting with your own fears. You look at her, and instead of seeing a woman, you see a judge. You see someone who is there to evaluate if you are good enough. And every time you see a woman as a judge instead of as a human being to connect with, you automatically become less attractive. She did not do anything. Your own mind turned her into a threat. The paradox is this: when you fully accept where you are in life, when you stop apologizing for your age and your story, when you stand in front of her with calm honesty, you become more attractive even with your imperfections. Younger women are not blind. They can see who is older. They can see who has scars, who has history. But maturity, when it is integrated, feels safe and powerful. Confidence does not mean pretending you are 20 again. Confidence means you can look at your reality and say, "This is who I am now. I am not here to impress you. I am here to see if we are actually a match." That inner dialogue changes everything. The fourth brutal truth is that younger women test your emotional strength, often without even realizing it. These tests are simply the way female psychology checks if your words match your reality, if your apparent confidence has depth, or if it is only a mask. When she takes long to reply, when she cancels and then wants to reschedule, when she makes a sarcastic comment about your age or your work, when she shows interest and then suddenly turns cold. This is not always malice. Many times it is an unconscious way of asking, can this man handle pressure? Does he lose his frame the moment I pull away a little? Is he grounded, or is he dependent on my reaction to feel good about himself? Most men fail these tests because they react impulsively. They become needy, angry, passive-aggressive, or they try to punish her. A man with emotional strength does something completely different. He stays calm, he observes, he sets boundaries when needed, and he chooses with whom he wants to share his energy, instead of begging for someone to stay. Emotional strength in this context means that your mood does not depend on one woman's behavior. You can be disappointed, of course. You can be annoyed. But you do not collapse. You do not chase respect. You do not negotiate your dignity. When a younger woman sees that you are not easily shaken, that you do not explode, that you can listen without trying to control, that you can say no without fear, she feels something very rare in today's world. She feels the presence of a man who can carry weight. And that sense of strength is deeply attractive. Not because you are dominating her, but because you are demonstrating that you can hold your own center, and that is the kind of man a younger woman can relax around. The fifth brutal truth is that younger women do not fall for promises. They fall for the life you are actually living. Many men think they can compensate for a weak reality with strong words. They talk about what they will do one day, what they will build, how they will change. They tell great stories about the future, but if you look at their present, there is no discipline, no direction, no mission. Younger women may be inexperienced in many ways, but they are not completely naive. They pay attention to your habits, to how you treat your own body, your time, your work, your relationships. Ask yourself honestly, if a younger woman looked at your life from the outside, with no romantic filter, would she see a man on a path or a man drifting? Would she see structure, purpose, growing competence, or would she see excuses, distraction, and chaos? You do not need to be rich to be attractive. You do not need some luxury lifestyle. What you need is alignment between your words and your actions. When you say you care about your health and she sees you respect your body, that is attractive. When you say you are working on your goals and she sees evidence of effort, that is attractive. When you say you value your time and she sees you are not always available for meaningless things, that is attractive. Younger women live in a culture of aesthetic illusion, filters, edits, exaggerated images of success. So when they meet a man whose reality is solid, even if it is simple, it stands out. A clean, organized apartment can be more attractive than an expensive car with a messy, empty life behind it. Reading and learning regularly can be more attractive than flexing material things without depth. Your lifestyle is a silent speech you give every day. And that silent speech has much more influence on her attraction than any clever phrase you could say. The sixth brutal truth is that younger women are deeply afraid of ending up with a weak man who becomes a burden. And they look for signs of your leadership and your boundaries from the very beginning. Leadership here does not mean controlling her. It means you can lead yourself and create order in your own life. Boundaries mean You know what you accept and what you do not, and you are not afraid to lose someone by staying loyal to your principles. When you say yes to everything, when you adapt to whatever she wants, even if it goes against your values, when you avoid difficult conversations because you are scared she will leave, you may think you are being nice or understanding, but the message she receives is different. She sees a man who is willing to betray himself in order to keep her. That kind of man cannot protect her, cannot guide anything, and will eventually become another responsibility on her shoulders. She may enjoy the attention for a while, but she does not deeply respect him. A stoic mindset is powerful here. You accept that you cannot control her feelings, her choices, or her future. You can only control your own choices. So you behave in alignment with your values, regardless of whether that brings you closer to her or not. If she is late repeatedly and shows no respect for your time, you calmly adjust your availability or walk away. If she crosses a line in how she speaks to you, you address it without drama. If your priorities are your health, your work, your mission, you do not abandon them every time she appears. This kind of behavior sends a strong signal. You are a man who does not negotiate his core. Younger women may challenge it. They may push against it. But from deep inside, they feel more attracted to a man who has a clear center than to a man who bends with every breeze. The seventh brutal truth is that younger women have more apparent options than ever before, but very few real options at the level of quality. Social media, dating apps, online visibility, all of that creates the illusion that they could have almost any man. Messages from many men, likes, invitations, and so on, create a constant buzz. This can feed the ego and make some younger women behave in immature ways, but under the surface, the reality is different. Most of those options are not truly attractive. Many of those men are inconsistent, dishonest, weak, or simply not compatible. Why does this matter to you? Because if you see her through the lens of scarcity, you will behave like a beggar. You will believe you need to compete with 100 other men for her attention, and you will oversell yourself. But if you understand that while she may have many shallow options, she has very few deep options, your mindset changes completely. You stop trying to be like everyone else. You stop trying to win a race you cannot even see. Instead, you focus on being in that small category of men who are grounded, emotionally intelligent, honest, and selective. This does not mean you need to put her down or act superior. It means you stop overestimating her options and underestimating your value. You realize that you also have options, and one of your most powerful options as a man is always this: you can walk away. Once you truly internalize that you are choosing as much as she is choosing, your energy shifts from "I hope she picks me" to "let's see if we are actually compatible." That shift alone changes your behavior, your voice, your eye contact, your decisions, and younger women feel that difference very quickly. The eighth brutal truth is that younger women are much more influenced by your nonverbal communication than by your words. Many men still believe that there are magic lines or perfect phrases that can create attraction instantly. In reality, the content of your words is a small part of the message. Your tone, your pauses, your pace, your posture, your breathing, your gestures, the way you hold eye contact, all of that is constantly speaking for you. Younger women who grew up surrounded by media and social cues have become very good at reading these signals. They may not be able to explain what they are reading, but they feel it immediately. If your words are confident, but your body is tense, she trusts your body. If you say you are relaxed, but your eyes are restless, she trusts your eyes. If you say you are not in a hurry, but your movements are fast and nervous, she trusts your movements. So one of the most powerful ways to become more attractive to younger women is to train your nonverbal presence. You slow your breathing, you lower your shoulders, you keep your feet grounded when you stand. You let silence exist without rushing to fill it. You speak slightly slower, with intention. A man who can sit in silence without fidgeting communicates comfort with himself. A man who can listen without interrupting communicates strength. A man who can hold eye contact with warmth, not aggression, communicates confidence. Younger women know, at a deep level, that words can lie, but the body rarely does. So every time you work on your posture, your physical health, your awareness of your body, you are not just being healthy, you are sharpening one of the most important instruments of your masculine presence. The ninth brutal truth is that younger women lose respect for men who try to negotiate attraction. Attraction is either there or it is not. It can grow when there is curiosity and polarity, but you cannot argue someone into feeling desire. You cannot explain your way into being seen as attractive. Yet many men, especially when they feel the age difference, start to justify, convince, and sell themselves. They say things like, "I can treat you better than others. I am more stable. I am different," and they think that if they just explain enough, she will suddenly feel something she did not feel before. This always backfires. When you try to convince a younger woman to like you, you are sending a clear message. I do not believe I am enough as I am, so I need to push, to argue, to impress. That energy is heavy. It creates pressure. It puts her in a position where she feels she has to either validate you or reject you. And when a woman feels pressured to feel something, the natural reaction is resistance. On the other hand, when you can sense that the connection is not there, when you feel that her interest is weak or forced, and you can step back without bitterness, you show internal strength. The man who does not negotiate attraction accepts reality quickly. He can say, internally, she is not feeling it. That is fine. I do not need to force anything. In some cases, this relaxed acceptance actually allows attraction to grow later, because she feels you are not trying to manipulate her. In other cases, it simply means you both move on faster, with less drama. Either way, you win, because you stayed loyal to your dignity. Remember this: the moment you start explaining why she should like you, you have already lost the frame. The attractive man assumes that if she sees him clearly and still does not feel anything, then she is simply not his woman, and that is perfectly okay. The 10th brutal truth is the most important of all. Younger women do not owe you attraction, and the only sustainable strategy is to become the kind of man who naturally fits into the reality they are drawn to. Many men become bitter when they feel rejected by younger women. They say things like, they are all shallow, they only care about superficial things, or they do not appreciate real men. That bitterness is poison. It turns you into a victim, and victims are never attractive. Yes, there are immature younger women who play games, waste time, and look only for validation. But there are also younger women who are looking for depth, stability, and masculine presence. Your job is not to change them. Your job is to become so centered, so grounded, so aligned with your own mission, that you naturally filter out the ones who are not ready for a man like you, and attract the ones who are. That means you work on your body, not out of insecurity, but out of respect for yourself. It means you focus on your career or your path, not to impress, but to build something you are proud of. It means you learn to regulate your emotions, to speak with clarity, to listen, to set boundaries. It means you develop your social skills, your ability to create connection, your sense of humor, your curiosity. Attraction is not a debt that the world owes you because you are a good person, or because you have suffered. Attraction is a response to who you are being right now. When a younger woman feels your calm, your stability, your direction, your standards, she may still choose someone else. That is her right. But many times, she will feel something she does not feel with other men. The presence of a man who does not need her to feel complete, but who is fully capable of sharing his world with her. That difference is subtle, but it is everything. So as you listen to all of this, do not fall into the trap of thinking, I need to memorize these truths to control them. That is not the point. The point is to let these truths clean away illusions that are blocking your growth. The illusion that age alone will make you attractive. The illusion that giving more attention will solve everything. The illusion that you can hide your insecurity. The illusion that you can fake strength without doing inner work. The illusion that words are enough without a solid life behind them. The illusion that you must compete with everyone for her attention. The illusion that you can convince her to feel something. Instead, step into a different identity. You are the man who knows the game, but does not depend on it. You understand female psychology, but you do not worship it. You respect younger women as autonomous human beings, but you also respect yourself enough to never chase what clearly does not want you. You are not running after youth to escape your own aging. You are growing into a version of yourself that is so powerful, so centered, that youth is naturally drawn to you because it can sense that you have something rare to offer. Emotional stability, direction, presence, and depth. From this day forward, every interaction with a younger woman becomes an opportunity to practice this. You practice being fully present, instead of distracted and anxious. You practice being selective with your attention, instead of desperate for any response. You practice accepting reality quickly, instead of fighting it. You practice leading with your actions, instead of only with your words. You practice maintaining your frame, even when she tests it. You practice letting go with dignity, instead of clinging. Every time you do this, you are not just trying to get a date or a moment of validation. You are training yourself to be the kind of man who never has to fear being too late, because he is always evolving. The hard truth is that most men will never do this work. They will complain, blame, and repeat the same mistakes with younger women again and again. They will stay prisoners of their own insecurities and illusions. You do not have to be one of them. You can take these 10 brutal truths and use them as a mirror, not as a weapon against anyone else. Look at where you are strong and where you are weak. Look at where you are aligned and where you are lying to yourself. And then in silence, make a decision to walk the path of self-mastery, of emotional strength, of deep masculine presence. Younger women will feel that difference. Some will be intimidated by it. Some will not understand it. But the ones who are truly ready for a man, not a boy, will recognize it immediately. They will see that you are not trying to escape your age, but embodying it. They will see that you are not chasing them, but moving forward in your own direction, inviting them to walk beside you, not ahead of you, not behind you. That is the man they remember. That is the man they respect. That is the man who, even if things end, leaves a mark. And that man can be you, if you choose to live these truths instead of just listening to them.